What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming.
Gosh, ever since you told me that you guys were starting this, I was like, how can I insert myself into this conversation and situation?
Oh, yeah.
There's no need to.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're doing this.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
I don't know how many of our listeners used to listen to the old podcast
The OG.
called
The old background check. Remember
but
background
yeah,
check?
there was an episode with Skyler on that one, and maybe,
We need to
maybe
link
one of
it.
our better guests.
Yeah.
When you link it, it'll be in the top right somewhere.
So if you haven't heard that one, maybe we'll put a link out there for it.
Oh my gosh, how much has changed since that podcast? The entire world and us have changed so much. That's wild.
Well, we were saying earlier that the whole reason why the podcast fell apart was because of Chelsea, Aaron's wife. She pulled him away from
Chelsea. We've had enough.
Yeah.
We're rebelling right now.
Yeah, I think
This is a rebellion against Chelsea currently
we
right now.
talked about this a few weeks ago or on the first podcast, but it's ironic because initially it was okay, we're newly dating and now I don't have time to do the podcast. But now, 5 years into marriage,
Settled in.
just had our second kid.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
Finding
all
a
right,
rhythm.
Enough of you. Get out of the house for a couple hours a week.
That's
and go
definitely what
record
it
a
is.
podcast.
He was just trying to get his life stable enough to get back into podcast mode. That was everything he
dream.
worked. That's
Yeah.
the dream.
Yeah.
That's the dream. Okay, so speaking of the dream, before we dive in, I have one thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? What the hell?
What's that?
What the hell? Tell me why it took me a month to get back on my social, because all I wanted to do was support my boy and vote for him on some random entertainment spree. So the context, this is the context, right? Is I get a random DM from Aaron. This is 6 months ago. This is 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron messages me randomly saying, "Hey, I'm a part of this whole..."
Crypto was a thing back then.
Yeah, crypto was popping back then. So it was everyone was on the...
Yeah,
But
Tom Brady was good.
back then, at least,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. He didn't need to sign a $375 million anchor deal
Yeah.
back then. But so Aaron messages me, right? He messages me and say, "Hey, click on this link, vote. It's just me and a bunch of other, recording artists here in the city. Any vote, any vote would help me in my polls." So I click on it because, of course, I'm going to promote my boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my boy on,
Yeah.
right?
Dude, yeah. Here, I want to click, and then I'll tell you all my passwords.
Boom, done. And then my life was over as we know it for the last, for the next month. I could not, in Meta's, for how successful Meta is, it is so difficult just to get your account back.
I don't even have mine. I just gave up.
Really? So you still don't have your
I just started a
account?
new one.
Oh.
Because after a couple days, I was trying to, and it wouldn't
true.
work. And they have
Yeah, he has the real Aaron Cox now.
You still, the real.
And I think even on my profile, description or whatever, I even say hey, this other one is another one, and I
They're
tag
still
them.
asking for crypto. They're still asking
Oh
for
my
money.
gosh.
It still exists. It hadn't been shut down.
That is hilarious.
That's
So
wild.
for those who are still following the old Aaron account, please know it's not him.
There's some good memories on there, but it's not really me anymore.
It's not him. No.
I had people reaching out. I had some people who trust me, right? So they were really this close to considering giving or going into that whole spiel.
Oh yeah.
And so, gosh.
See, I don't believe anything I get on the old internets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got trust. It's good if you have trust issues
Yeah.
to start off with.
Just shoot him a text hey, what's with this crypto thing? He'll be
Right.
like, what what crypto thing?
So I had a friend who went and did 10 DMs back and forth and did pop quizzes, and they were like, "What were you wearing when we met this last time?" And then they got 2 out of the 2 or 3 out of the 10 questions right, which is kind of scary. They actually did a deep dive.
Wow.
So I don't know. Respect to the professionals out there, but that was a headache.
The professional hackers.
Professional hackers.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
They're
It's
pretty
hard to
good at
do.
their job. they're better than Meta. Meta can't get you back on your stuff. They can get you off of it real easy.
I'm still
but-
not like, how is that difficult?
How
to
are we?
get-
We're calling it Meta.
Meta, right?
Yeah.
Meta. We're in.
I mean,
we're in.
it only hacked my Instagram. Like my Facebook didn't get hacked.
Really?
Which I figured they were linked, but it didn't get hacked. Maybe it's because I caught it quick enough to like shut down that end of it. I don't know, but my Facebook didn't get hacked.
Wild.
Just my Instagram.
Wild.
So.
Oh, that's crazy. Anyways, I had to just get that out of the way.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Old Aaron.
I'll think twice now.
He
before I
threw us
step on
all
my
for a
board.
loop.
Although
that-
you know,
that thing.
in a way, it was kind of nice because like I just was off Instagram for
Dude.
a good while,
Yeah.
Our boy had a little mental health break.
and
you
it was
know?
pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, like it was nice just not having it for a while.
Mhm.
So yeah,
There you
Yeah,
go.
dude.
He was like, I guess I should get back on
yeah.
my following.
We kept telling him, like, dude, I send you way too many memes, or those little Instagram reels that are funny.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're
and
missing
then
out
I
on
had
the
to
trends.
stop getting them to him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're missing out on some
Like
good
Aaron's walking
content
down the
here.
street, and you're like, bro, you're not supposed to be wearing that.
Yeah, we
Haven't
have
you
all
seen
the group
trends?
chats. He like
Yeah.
dropped off the group chats.
You were still sending them, but
I was
whoever
like,
is on my
the
account
guy,
now,
the guy who hacked you, I bet he's having some laughs.
Oh my gosh, he
Yeah.
probably made a couple million off of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
We just don't know.
That's so crazy.
Crazy.
That's so crazy. How can we do that?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, that'll be an offline conversation.
So we used to have a background check. Cut to 7 years later, we're dad pod.
Dad pod.
yeah,
Yeah, we're dads now. That's really the only reason. We're not even the only dad pod.
I feel like you're in your prime.
there's a lot of.
Can I
other
just
dads.
say
there's so
that?
many other dad pods that are like way better than this dad
Really?
pod. Yeah,
No
but we're
way.
dad pod Houston.
Dad
Yeah.
pod Houston brand.
We're dad pod Houston.
Which is the best
'cause-
brand.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, me and him are dads. We just have a podcast. That's why it's called Dad Pod. Didn't really put a whole lot of thought into it or anything. We just started doing it. And then I started telling people about it. I was like, yeah, it's called Dad Pod. And then he's like, the guy I was telling, I was like scrolling through 20 dad pods. Like, which one's yours? I was like, oh, the orange one with the shoe. It's like, just type in.
I really like that logo from a creative
yeah.
standpoint. I think
Oh,
that's
it's great.
original. Yeah.
I love it. It's we put it on a poster right there.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty nice.
I really like it.
Yeah, and so we're Dad Pod with Renee and Aaron.
yeah.
So
on.
if you need to search it or
Yeah,
whatever,
if you search that whole thing, you should find it. So.
yeah.
Okay, well, I just typed in Dad Pod and you guys popped up.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Oh, your SEO is working,
thank you.
so it's great.
Thank you.
We're not even really doing anything. It just
Yeah.
happened that way.
We just like record
Organic.
it and then we film it and then we put it out there. Sometimes it takes forever to do and whatnot, and
Yeah.
I take a long time to edit it or whatever, and then other times I just do it right away without much editing. But yeah, we're experimenting now with multiple cameras and stuff, and we got this little
this is
setup,
nice.
and we used to have like real cameras and got too much, so we started using cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, it's easier to do everything that
I mean,
way.
people are making entire careers off of just cell phones. So
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
there's no.
We just watched that. Well, you've seen that movie, You People with.
Yes, I
Oh,
did. The last
Yeah,
week.
the very first scene they're shooting it on their cell phone. I
Yeah,
was
if
like,
it's
that's
good
cool.
enough on you people, then
Yeah, if Jonah Hill,
Absolutely.
it's good enough for Jonah Hill.
That's right.
Yeah.
As they have like a $10,000 Netflix camera to film.
Oh yeah.
fine.
Well,
Yeah,
Netflix.
Netflix camera. Yeah.
yeah, but like on all the Apple presentations, they're showing like professionals making movies and stuff on their
Yeah.
iPhones. So,
There was a Soderbergh movie that was filmed on an iPhone.
oh yeah,
High Flying Bird. It's on
Really?
the Netflix.
And it won an award, huh?
I don't know.
Or was that for an award? You know what's interesting is you'll see Gen Z, they get this. They'll always put their phone down, and the reason why they're putting their phone down before they like hop on a TikTok or like a reel is because they're filming from the backside,
Huh.
where there's actually like more higher quality camera work.
Yeah.
So, but I've always like wondered like why there's so many people and they'll just like talk. Maybe they want to use both their hands, but it's for the camera work. So
Interesting.
interesting. There's a lot of like phone hacks out there.
oh yeah.
I've seen people like film themselves working out at like Planet Fitness. I was like, oh wow, you're one of those.
Wait, first off, if you're filming yourself,
Yeah.
at Planet Fitness,
no,
then maybe
this-
it's the beginning. Yeah,
They had yeah,
Just-
documenting the early years.
hey, that's right. Hey, get it in. You know what? I'm not gonna hate on the grind.
Yeah.
I take that back. I'm not gonna hate on.
I was
the
like, I
grind.
should do that. Yeah.
Come on.
Plus, you know, a lot of
absolutely.
people like. I think I forget sometimes that a lot of like adults now are Gen Z. You know, I mean they're young adults, but they're adults. And like,
Yeah, we're
most
like
of those,
so much older. We're like the next
yeah.
generation up. We're like, oh, these kids.
But most of those kids, like, or now they're adults, they grow up and they film everything. So it's like not that big of a deal for them to be.
It's true.
Shooting.
When they were the first
video.
generation that actually fully grew up on their phone. I think we
Yeah.
were like halfway.
If you were born in 2006, you're what? How old are you now? Like 17, something like that.
Yeah, you're done for.
Or 18.
Like, yeah, you
crazy.
You woke up with an iPad.
Yeah, but that's what it's 2006, the year the iPhone came out.
The 2007, I think.
Yeah,
Old-
but even
old
then,
jobs.
like, even if you weren't born that year, you're not really going to be having an iPhone like until you're like at least 7 or 8. Like those are the rich kids. So like, you could be born
7 or 8.
and the kids who were
At
7 or 8 in 2006.
Dude, I was stunting with my
99,
iPhone
2000,
in
something like
07.
that.
Ooh, see,
I was like ignoring everybody on my phone. They're like, what are you? It's like playing with apps and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
that was
nothing. There was really
first
nothing.
popped Angry Birds. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Angry
yeah.
Birds is.
But
good.
I was like on the Razor game for a minute.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I love me
razors
a
were
razor.
hot back then.
Yeah, razors are cool.
For a minute. So, like, as a dad, real fast, is it hard not to, like, just have an out and give your kid an iPad then? And just be like, hey, be entertained.
She's really young. She will take my phone and start chewing on it because she's like teething.
Okay, so they're not at the place where, like, even the simplest...
She's not.
Can she, like, sit there and, like, watch an episode?
No, she won't do that.
Okay.
I mean, my oldest will kind of. He's but he'll be 2 in March, so he's still pretty young. But he doesn't. I mean, we don't really give him like a tablet or a phone or anything.
Sure.
If we watch something,
They haven't been defiled yet.
Yeah, we're watching it together if we're watching something. So,
Yeah.
and usually it's like, you know, Bluey or one of those kind of shows.
That was, like, last episode, huh?
Yeah, the first
Bluey?
episode we
One of
talked
those
about
episodes.
Bluey.
Yeah.
Bluey's cool. She
Yeah.
likes Bluey. What I like about Riley is she dances to the songs and she'll look at you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, why aren't you getting down, Daddy? Come on, like, let's do this.
No,
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, Cohen has started doing that too, and he'll say dance, and then he'll like just move his feet around, but he's not really dancing, but he says he's dancing.
Hey,
But it's cool.
he's getting
you know?
down
Yeah.
in his head.
It's
He's
the
like,
energy, you know.
Dude,
that's all.
yeah. God, these kids, man.
I love it.
So, yeah, I'm at work, and at around 9 o'clock, 9:15, I get a call. Riley just threw up. She has a temperature. So I had to leave work and come get her, and then I've been chilling here all day.
Okay.
My wife gets home from work at around 8-ish, and so I hand her off. And it's been a long day.
Wow.
She did nap for like 2 hours, though, in the middle of the day.
Hey, we'll take that
cool.
dub.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Take that dub.
like it's scary when you're doing something and you're like, oh, your baby's not feeling well. Like she just threw up, and I'm like, oh, dude, it was rough.
Yeah.
Gave her medicine. She's good. I got a doctor's appointment Monday, but I think she's fine now. I think, just a little bit of medicine. She ate. She's eating good now. I don't know what it was.
Sometimes, it's like a stomach bug, and then
Yeah.
all it takes is throwing up once, and then they're good.
Yeah.
But like,
Been there.
like we
Yeah.
just
Not
went
the
to
stomach bug.
we just went to San Antonio last week because my wife had like a work conference thing there.
Uh-huh.
So, and we took the whole family. So,
Oh, dope.
and on the last day, Chelsea got sick,
Ooh.
and we thought maybe it was like anxiety or like she thought it was stomach ulcers or something because she was like going there. She was kind of anxious about it because she's the only one bringing her whole family, and like, are the kids gonna be too loud in the hotel and that kind of thing.
Right.
But then on the way back, we're driving home, and like 45 minutes before we get home, Cohen, my oldest, he's in the back seat, like he wakes up and he's kind of crying, and I like turn on some music so he can like get happy, but then he just throws up in his car seat. And we're like 45 minutes from home, so it's like kind of the point of no return where you're like, well, if we stop now, like by the time we
is
get him cleaned
wild.
up, it's going to be so much longer before we get home. So we're like, we're just going to drive the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And so we're
That
like,
is
I guess it was a
insane.
stomach bug.
Like,
And then-
what prepares you for, like, the dad
Yeah.
life that is sitting in the car filled with, smells like throw up?
Yeah. Well, and then the other
College.
thing is, it's
Oh,
always,
yeah, it's true. That's true.
But the other thing is, you're like
You always have that
concerned
one
too. At
friend.
the same time, you're like, should we stop? Like,
Sure. Am
Yeah,
I
I mean,
am I a bad
yeah.
parent for just, like, plowing
Leaving
through.
him
Yeah,
in.
but I think we made the right choice because we made better time that way, and like
Yeah.
it made for a rough return because like normally you get home and all you have to do is like unpack your stuff, maybe start some laundry. But this time it's like
If you would have stopped, it would have been like an extra hour.
Yeah.
You added on, and then you had to
at
clean
least,
out
and then
and
it's
everything
like
settled
the other
down.
thing is he threw up again like maybe 30 minutes after that, like right before we got home, and so it's like we would have cleaned him up and then he would have just thrown up again.
Yeah.
So we made the right choice.
He threw up again. Oh yeah.
But the crazy thing is, like, when we got home, we couldn't just unpack because it's like we got to get him out of the car, give him a bath because he's got like puke all over him and stuff, and then you got to take apart the car seat and clean it up because it's like, so it made for like a pretty rough return.
Yeah.
But nobody else got it, so that was cool. I thought for sure like, oh man, I'm about to get the stomach bug.
Yeah.
And I feel bad thinking that because I'm like, am I being selfish? Because like, I should be concerned about my kid. He's the one who's really
You're
sick
like, man,
right
this is
now.
about to apply through the whole
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Because usually that's what happens. Like if
Yeah.
somebody gets it, everybody gets it. So,
Yeah.
but it turned
Good
out
call.
all right.
Yeah.
Dad hacks.
Dude, we I don't know, man. You're the first non-dad guest.
Which is an honor.
Yeah.
Which is an honor, by the way.
But the cool part is, no matter who we have, everybody has a dad.
Or has a father figure.
How about it? You know?
Or
Or a
imagine
father
imagine that.
yeah, everybody has been born
figure. Yes.
Everybody's been born at some point.
at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
I like that. Cheers. So it applies to everyone. for
Yeah,
sure.
applies to everyone.
Everyone knows a dad, at least. You know, at
And-
the very
and knows-
least, you know a dad.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron. I think Aaron is the only one who has his parents still together, right? Your parents
Hold
are
it down.
divorced?
Look at you. You're
No,
so.
my parents are still together.
Okay, yeah, that's what I
yeah.
thought.
Look at that. Classic.
Yeah.
The old,
Man, that's
the
awesome.
old, yeah.
Yeah, they live in
The
San
old- the old
Antonio
white picket
too,
fence,
so
huh?
we got to spend a good amount of time with them last week. So that was
Come
cool.
on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dope.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? Did you feel like it was? Did you feel like you were out of like, man, I have such a normal family? Like, did you ever feel like that?
I mean, in some ways, yeah, but like, it's also pretty cool because it's like,
Well, yeah. I
because
guess-
it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. I never felt like I feel like I was blessed more than like
That's awesome. Good.
out.
Yeah.
You know,
Good.
because it's like
Good. You like had the awareness of like,
Yeah.
hey.
most
I'm
people
gonna-
don't have this, and I
So
I
many
got
people don't have
lucky
it, yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Not that like, I mean, the other thing is I see like, just because you have that doesn't necessarily always mean like, oh, things are gonna always work out better for you, or vice
Sure.
versa.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of people who don't have that. That,
Yeah.
that
Just because your parents are together doesn't mean it's necessarily
Yeah.
healthy.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's great, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy.
cool.
So like on our side, coming from like growing up in a divorce home, I think when people are like, oh my gosh, like how was that? Or like, I'm like, I don't know. It's like what I know. So it's like, it was awesome, I guess.
Nothing to
Like,
compare it to.
yeah. I'm like, that's what I know. Like,
I'll tell you this. When I was young, I hated it, right?
uh-huh.
But then I met my dad, and my dad's pretty cool. And so my parents split up and when I was 4. This was 1992, right? This was like before the internet, before
We keep on going.
anything, right? And like I moved to a different country, a different state. And so of course we weren't close, right? And then when I was like old enough to really like seek out and reach out, and there was the internet and things like that, and I can email him, we totally started being close.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
I got to meet my little brother and my little sister and
Yeah.
his wife and like that whole crew down there, and we FaceTime all the time now, and they send Riley presents. It's the best. So
That's awesome.
but when I was little, I was like
Sure.
missing
There's
out.
that disconnect.
Right.
Yeah. Win for the internet. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. During the time I felt like I was missing out, I didn't realize like how lucky I was that I still had my grandfather.
Sure.
I still had my uncle, who I actually called dad. Like growing up, he's just dad,
Yeah.
you know?
That's
And
cool.
he would take me to school every day and treat me like a son and
Cool.
love me. And, I had my Aunt Annabelle, who's basically raised me. And, of course, my mom, who's always been there for me. So, I mean, yeah, like they were tough on me, and I got, even when I was getting in trouble or whatnot, they never gave up on me, and it was great. Like, and of course, I was not necessarily great to all my cousins.
Sure, right.
And then I was one of the older ones. Like, me and my cousin Kitsu were the older. And we're like in the same grade. She's 6 months older than me, but we're both like, the oldest and stuff.
Yeah.
And fighting with them and all that stuff growing up. And then now that we're all over 21, right? I mean, I'm 34. My youngest cousin is like 26, 27. So we're all pretty much
Grown. Yeah.
pretty much grown, and she's got her career and everything, out of the house and all that stuff.
Right.
Like, we make plans to hang out all the time. Like, I had sushi with my cousin Christina the other day, just out of the blue. And it's so much fun when we all hang out. And, it's different now. I moved out of Spring Branch, which is like super far away for them.
Whoa, moving out of
Moved out of
town.
Spring
Look at
Branch.
you. Yeah.
And I'm like 15 minutes away now. It's so
Well, you still drive to Spring Branch like every day.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I work there. But so like when you look back, you realize, oh my gosh, like, can you believe, like, I had my mom,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and what I
Like
love
your
it-
family. And
Yeah.
your family
Oh,
was
yeah.
just like who you identified as family.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
so normalized for you.
Yeah.
And I don't think you realize how maybe like unique it is until you're having to explain to like a significant other or like a plus one coming in, and you're like, okay, so this is like my uncle, but he's like really like my dad, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh whoa, like maybe I'm having to give a ton of disclaimers, here.
Yeah.
And then you realize like how unique your situation was growing up.
Yeah. What was your situation growing up?
So you said your parents were divorced at 4. My parents
Yeah.
were divorced like maybe within the first year.
Okay.
And it was like totally kind of a copacetic agreement. They had like champagne when they both signed papers. It was like one of those things like, hey, this isn't gonna work out. So, but they both like were committed to co-parenting, which is really cool, and that's not always the case. So, I was, I was in a unique situation because of that. So, but I grew up in 2 households my entire life. And I don't think I realized the power of leverage in that until I was maybe in high school, because because I just like didn't know how to like work the system, and like that's probably for my benefit, but it was great. Like it was great. I'm hesitating because I'm like, I don't know any different, but like it was great for me. I got to be a part of like every vacation on both sides, every holiday. Like it was a pain in the butt for them to arrange, but I got all like the benefits.
Yeah.
Because each one wanted to like put their best foot forward when I was in town, or like when I was over at their place. So I mean, I enjoyed it. And then it wasn't until like high school where I was like, hey, and at that point they weren't gonna like talk because they were like so over like the coordination of everything, and they're like, I'm not married to you with you for a reason, so like if we don't need to talk, we don't need to talk. So
Yeah. And also, you're like 18.
correct, or like or early on, like
Okay.
and I'm like finally over at friends' houses, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to my dad's this week. To my mom, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to my mom's this week for my dad, and I'm just like over at a homie's house, like, oh my God.
Hey.
And then like I finally got caught, and then it was like they both like teamed up.
They
and
teamed up?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, co-parenting. There you go. So, when I was like, oh, touche. Like I didn't think you guys would come together in that. Like respect. Okay,
Like Parent
lesson
Trap.
learned.
Yeah, you.
Literally trapped. So, yeah. It wasn't until like. Yeah, I threw a party at one of their houses, and then I was like just telling the other parent I was over. So, anyways, but and then finally like my facts didn't line up, and so came crashing down. So, but yeah, that was my experience.
That's cool.
Cool. So like anything on the you're single now?
I am single now, which is wild. So
It is wild.
fresh out of, like this is the first public thing I've done besides like maybe be a part of a wedding. So dad pod, like on the cutting edge of everything. So, just so you know, like honoring you with like the first public appearance since everything. But I think I'm gonna in the next month I'm kind of preparing some things on being like, hey, I want to tell my story in this. And, but yeah, coming out of like a wild season of, transitioning out of ministry, because of where the marriage was at, and then making some career decisions because I couldn't go back to ministry because of where the marriage was at. And then, eventually deciding like, hey, this is not healthy for both of us. And then a bunch of things as I was deciding that came to light, and it was like, okay, I have every reason in the book to to do this. So out of that, it's been like, I'd like to say it was like a huge release and relief once that happened. And there has been like an incredible freedom that comes with it. Like, I feel like I don't think I've ever been like a bachelor. Like, I don't think I've ever lived in my 20s and been like, man, I'm gonna go out in town and just like crush it. Like, I'm not gonna. I just not been me. And I was also in ministry, so I was really like devoted to the work. But now I'm in this place of like, I have that ability, but I also did something stupid all at the same time, which is starting a business from scratch.
Hey, that's not dumb.
But within filing for divorce to then starting a small business was like only days apart.
Which one came first?
Starting a business.
Okay.
So, and at that point I didn't know what I knew. I think I would have honestly, I think I would have either gotten investors for this business to provide me some cushion, or I would have done more of a cush job in the meantime, and then just built it as a side hustle. But I just went all in with it.
That's
and
cool.
I just it's been tough. It's been tough, but I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly. Yeah. And I'm not just saying that just to be tie a pretty bow on it, but I love it. I love what I do. I was doing it way before I got here. I'll do it after, and even tonight. And it's just I don't see myself doing anything different. But
so tell me about your business. What is it? What it's called? What?
Sure, I want to be an ad or a sponsor on Dad Pod.
Yeah, tell us
totally.
Tell us when it started.
Sure.
Where the idea came from, all that kind of stuff.
So yeah, quick plug. It's Confidant Co. So if you're watching online, that's our logo. But being a part of the nonprofit, good cause world, and also working for a mega church, I helped give away a lot of money. So I was on what we call the major donor side, because we were giving on the behalf of a church with millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. So I got to see what organizations do with this money, and what are some of their greatest needs. And what I got to see from the major donor side is that we were cutting checks for organizations that already had the budget, and they were just maintaining their budget to continue their work. But there's small grassroots organizations they're started by someone who provides a unique cause because they see an issue and they're like, I want to do something about this. And then they start an organization, they get some friends around it, and they have maybe $100,000 to a $200,000 budget. And so I got to be a part of influencing, hey, let's maybe write that same amount, but for a smaller organization, which could cripple them too, ironically. But let's vet small grassroots organizations that are ready for this, and let's change the trajectory of where they're going. And I think that inspired me to start a creative agency, basically an ad agency, but for the nonprofit and small business world. So we're trying to create the most affordable service for marketing, fundraising, which fundraising is just marketing. So we're just a creative agency, and I take freelancers that want a really impactful side hustle, and then I pair them up with really good causes. That's awesome. So coming from ministry, we obviously were connected to so much in the world, but man, we're getting to do some really cool work because people trust us to tell their story, and so we get to do that digitally for a lot of organizations across the world. So
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Confidant Co.
Awesome.
Confidant.
Yep, Confidant Co.
So how long have you guys been like running?
Less than a year.
Okay.
Less than a year. So this is like a complete startup thing right now. And I'm really great at running ministries proficiently.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm learning to do that as a businessman. And the biggest adjustment for me hasn't been like, oh, how do I become a bachelor again? Like, no, it's not even it. It's like, how do I think and live like a CEO?
Mm-hmm.
And that has been a huge shift for me. And I haven't completed that process yet. I'm like way too nice and I'm way too lenient, and I don't make decisions based off of budget. I don't make decisions based off of like necessarily ROI and all that. I'm just so relational that like, I have to put controls in place, whether it's people, whether it's just like parameters.
That's hard, yeah.
So it's been a huge adjustment for me, but I feel like I'm getting there. That's what I'm doing right now. It's kind of my world.
That's cool. You like live and breathe. That's that. Like, you're in an office?
Yeah. Well, everything's remote, so
okay.
Yeah, and I like to keep it that way because for the people who work for me, basically I have like 2 people on staff, if you will, on our leadership team, and then everyone else is contract, and we have like 30 plus freelancers that are just in our arsenal, ready to like just hustle at any time.
That's cool.
And what's great about it is like they can work whenever they want, because we're providing long runways for project timelines, because I know that they're going to give us an affordable rate. And so my favorite like people to write checks to every month are moms that just like believe that their writing career isn't over just because they have kids. And once the kids go to bed, they like hop on the computer and then they're just constantly writing copy for us, whether it's for a blog, website, whatever. And so we're doing stuff like that. Like there's probably like 10 people working right now.
Oh yeah.
That's like, so cool. And everyone's submitting really late. So I get notifications at like 10 at night. I just, man, I love it. Because I know people are like, man, that's so great. I get to pick this back up.
So how many clients do you guys have right now?
That's a good question. So I think we'll close 2 today. But it's interesting because we have a lot of one-time clients. And
okay.
Our one-times are like we're kickstarting a business, or we're making a rebrand package, and that includes like a website and just kind of getting them started with a fresh look. And then we have retainers, and that's our bread and butter, is like to walk with an organization and for like longevity. And so we at some point we're at like 6 to 8 at our high. Right now we're probably at like 3 or 4 or 5 within this month. And that's because I realized like I'm not scalable. And so I was trying to do everything, and I was just like spinning plates. And then I realized thinking like a CEO, or not thinking like a CEO, I needed to delegate. And so it's scalable if we can delegate and then put trustworthy people to run it even more. So we finally have that. We've kind of like restructured. So in my first year of business, I'm making like, hundreds or maybe even $1,000 mistakes instead of like tens of $1,000 mistakes. So I'm glad that we're catching all this early.
Yeah.
So
the first year, like, gosh,
it's wild.
It's wild.
It's like you have to just be a different.
And you're growing. Like you're learning. I mean, you're
like learning on the job.
That's,
right now.
Yeah, like your very first year on the job, you don't know,
nothing.
You know enough to jump in, but then you're in there and you're swimming and you're like, oh, yeah, these waters are deeper.
And this kind of goes back to like father figures. Is like, I think if I would do it all over again, the one thing I would do is I would get an investor who was seasoned in business, like a businessman that could mentor me. Like, I think I would have, that's the first thing I would have done. No, like I'm getting those people in my life right now, but not as investors, because I believe that we can do this without sharing equity or giving a loan back.
Yeah.
Because we're at a solid place. But like, I think I would easily then, if I start another business, it would be I'd get an investor and get mentors around me, and they would just constantly speak in, and then I'd be just super transparent.
Yeah. So like as a mentor, like what's like the best quality that you've seen that you try to do when it comes to being a mentor or father figure to somebody?
Oh man, consistency.
Oh,
Consistency. I mean, like, there's no replacement for like constantly being there, like presence. I mean, and you guys know this as dads. Like, you don't even need to be on your A game, but if you're just there, consistent, then you're trustworthy, and like, if you know your heart's in the right place and you genuinely love that person, you're like, listen, I don't have a dog in the fight. Like, I want a better life for you, you know?
Yeah.
Then everything else will fall into place. But I think just consistency.
yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Consistency.
For sure. And that's hard because, like, it's hard to make long-term commitments, you know? And, like, when you're stepping into a mentor role, you either need to be upfront, like, hey, I'm able to walk with you for, like, 2 to 3 years in this, like, sweet season of yours. Or it's like, hey, like, I'm with you for the long haul. Like, maybe this will look different as we both grow, but, like, I'm willing to, you know, to check in and meet up with you consistently. So.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I have a guy who's a really good mentor, and that's totally true. And I think the fact when I see how much he sacrificed to spend time with me, that was another like eye-opening thing.
Wow.
Like I mean, this, like, he had no business being there for me, and he was.
Yeah.
And he still is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he saw the podcast and he's like, dude, it's terrible. He's like, can I get the last hour of my life back? He's like, no, he's like, keep it up. You know,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But he's, I
Shout
mean,
out to the
yeah, consistency. Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, and you're just sitting there and you're like, man, I wish I could just like utilize your I want you to feel like your time is utilized, you know? And they're not even thinking that, you know?
Dude,
they're just
yeah.
like, man, I'm just so proud of you. And like, whatever you need. And then like, you have this identity crisis of like, wow, am I really that worth it? Like, that someone, there's 50 things on fire and they're walking away from that because like they see that much potential in me, or they like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword. You can think that you deserve it, or you're like, you know, if you're entitled to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of easy to do.
Which I'm like, if you're at that place, then like, why even need that person? You know,
But you do. Yeah.
yeah, but you do. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't realize, oh, yeah. I'd be lost without you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I feel like those who maybe like didn't have like the biological father like figure, like mentors are key in that.
Yeah.
Like whether that's like out of place, like by a death, or just like literally physically not there, or just disengaged, like mentors are key in that. And I honestly think, and this is like, I kind of want to write a book about this one day, but it's like for those, not even just in father figure, but like the gap in wherever, the relational gap in whatever is largest in your life in regards to like a key influence, you have a great opportunity to leverage that. Like, I think I have been more open to ask for help. I say that. I would like to think that, but like, I've been more inclined to ask for help from older men that are like so specialized in things, because like, I'm like, hey, like, I want to learn as much as I can, because I feel like there's this gap, and like, I want to seize everything I can. And it's just like, and I think maybe that's the humility piece that you're talking about too, which is like, man, if you start there, then it's like, that gives you a leg up, because you could just leverage that, and leverage it in not in a place of manipulation, but leverage it in a place of like, hey, I think I can genuinely ask
Like,
for this,
not
and
wasting
this,
it.
not wasting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not wasting it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, it's dope.
It's good. It's good to see you, buddy.
Man, good to be on Dad Pod.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good to be on
It's
Dad Pod.
good. So you staying around here? You in downtown? What are you?
Yeah, so looking to get, I actually have a tour downtown tomorrow. So
Tour
in a, like a loft situation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
man, I love downtown. So
Dude, downtown's cool.
it is cool.
I was just there.
It is cool.
I was there on Tuesday. The Rockets suck, dude.
You went to a Rockets
I
game?
did. It was
Who
Hey.
so
who are they
bad.
playing?
Hey, it's all right.
playing
They
the
need to
Kings.
suck so they can get a good draft pick.
That's
again.
right.
Did we just get John Wall back? Is that
Yeah,
what I
that's
saw?
hilarious.
Oh my god.
I just saw a podcast with John Wall, and,
And he
was
trashed the
the
Rockets.
Hating
Rockets.
on us.
Yeah.
Trash.
But this is back when he got before he got back
Yeah,
to
and
the
then
Rockets.
he just came back, but they're about to buy him out again. He's going to be getting 2 paychecks from the Rockets because they
think-
bought him out earlier.
I
and now
think
he's
we
getting bought
I
out
think we
again.
got a deal where we get how many? What was the deal? You know, we got like 5 picks or something.
Well, they
crazy.
switched. I think they swapped picks with like.
It was like a
with,
3-way deal. Oh, Aaron, your thing.
Oh, did it die?
Man,
Oh,
we gotta
storage
pay for
full.
we gotta pay for this iCloud account.
Well, I have an iCloud. I don't know why it doesn't automatically like just record it to the
I
iCloud
don't know.
because I've
We're gonna,
got.
we're gonna have to delete some videos.
I know, dude.
You have to delete some pictures of your kids
Yeah, dude. What's up with all that?
for the dad pod.
Now we got no shots of Skyler on the podcast,
I
dude.
wonder if I can.
But that's crazy. I literally watched a podcast with John Wall last night, and I was
Yeah.
like, that dude is trashing us.
Yeah.
Trashing us.
Yeah, and we deserve it. We deserve it.
No, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Should I? Let me see if I can.
If you go to like your storage,
I wonder if I can offload this though.
Oh, like put that on the
Because the
cloud.
problem is this is gonna be the biggest. How do I just offload it to the cloud? Can I do that?
I don't know. Let's figure it
Or
out
just-
right now.
Just airdrop it. Just airdrop it to me,
I wish this computer was on. Oh wow.
or just airdrop it to this.
Oh yeah, airdrop it to Skyler, dude.
No people found.
Oh, here, hold on. I maybe don't have it for.
I'm airdropping it
I
to
got too
everybody.
many airdrop new pics. Have you heard of people doing that?
I heard of it. I heard that a good place to do that is like on an airplane
Yeah.
because everybody's right there and you can
And
just
everyone's gonna be on their phone.
boop, 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 boop. Yeah,
People be whiling.
yeah. No, that's all right.
Is this one? Can I airdrop it here?
I mean, here.
Here, hold on. Here, try now.
Here, let me redo this.
Yep, got you.
All right, cool.
It might take a while.
That's
'cause
fine.
It's like 40
Yeah,
minutes.
we're chilling.
Oh, it said failed
Oh, really? Let me try
because
again.
then there wasn't enough free space. Maybe for me. Wow,
How much space do you have on your phone?
I'm probably a lot like Aaron.
Ooh, dude,
I mean, I had 12 gigs.
I paid extra to get the
before we started.
256.
Oh my god.
Is that too much?
It's too much.
Really? That 128 wasn't doing it.
I guess
And
I
then
gotta get the bigger iPhone.
this fool has the 64. I was like, how do you
Yeah, I'm a
even do that?
64 too. Because I'm
Really?
like, hey, if I need to delete, it's just a good like accountability to delete.
Accountability. Get out of here.
Just to like do a spring cleaning on your phone every
Oh,
quarter.
dude, everything I've ever done since like
I had-
2007's on my phone.
I had 12 gigs. I thought that was gonna be enough.
Eh.
Let me see if it goes this time. Oh no, it said you didn't have enough space, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, well, my phone's right there.
Will it catch it? Let me try.
What
it.
about the
It's in-
computer? The computer will be the
My
best.
phone, my computer has no memory at all.
Okay.
You want to turn this on? It's on the back. Right there, yeah.
It's all right. We know what we were talking about. We were talking about John Wall.
Yeah, we're
we
talking
can-
about
we can
John
bring
Wall.
that-
Oh,
We
man.
can hop back into it after I drop this. Dang, I guess I gotta get more storage because this happened the last time.
Yeah. No, but I should have enough storage. Here, let me see.
It was,
I have like almost 10 gigs left.
well, I had
Is it-
12 when
it
I
must be
started.
you.
I had 12 when I started, and it ran out, so that's probably not enough because we're recording in 4K.
Oh, I
So
didn't realize they were
that's probably
recording in
why.
4K.
Yeah, that's probably why it's
yeah.
doing that.
Okay.
Oh, here you go. Accept. You want to accept this bad boy?
Nah, I don't.
He said, no, no, no.
there's
I'm
no
trying to be
memory in
burdened
this.
by your storage.
Yeah, like this thing is
I
awful with
wish you
storage.
could just like connect the external hard drive straight to your iPhone. And
Yeah,
just,
that'd be
No,
cool.
I've been like, I was so the last like 24, 48 hours.
Dude, why am I so hot?
I know you've been steaming over
I
there.
know.
Is
It's
like
these headphones.
I'm like debating if I like just video edit because we're about to like do a bunch of video content,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what is? Can I learn? Like, what's the cost of learning and then also doing it?
Well, I'm doing it for free. I'm doing it for free. It's just time.
Yeah.
It's just
I know.
time.
I just don't think.
I did the other one in like 3 hours. It's just 2 shots.
Oh man.
It's a lot.
kind of
It's
stuff
time.
are you trying to edit?
I'm gonna outsource that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna outsource it. We're gonna do a podcast too, but
okay.
also just for like client stuff. Like, is it worth me doing that and just learning? But then even if I learn, it's just
Although a
so much-
podcast is probably easier to edit than like
sure.
really crazy stuff,
But then I realized like I have to buy external hard drives. And I'm just
Yeah, I got this one right here. It's like a terabyte. And then
Oh,
I got this
wow.
one right here. That's like my little digital
SD card
reader.
Wow.
Yeah, SD reader. So, I mean...
So
and then-
so I have the SD card reader, but there's a way I can like forward it, compress it, and then forward it to an editor,
Yeah.
and then they edit it, and I have all the Adobe stuff. So then they can give it to me in like a MP4, and they can also give it to me into like an Adobe file. And that way, if there's any additional edits, I can just like click on the Adobe file, and then it just pulls up.
All right, hit me with that video on this one.
So if y'all get to the place of income, we can.
but
Adobe.
Should I do the same, which one? This one?
Is it that one?
I'm trying it. We'll see what happens. You changed your background to the Dad Pod too? Dad Pod logo?
Bro, you know the
Safety
dad pod
dogs.
color is same as confidant color.
Oh, really?
The Confident? Is it Confident or Confidant?
Confidant. Like we want to be trusted. We're your
I
confidant.
see.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't read. I thought it was Confident.
Confidant. And then it's because it's a E, 7A on the end. Confidant.
Confidant. Yeah. I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's a cool
Well,
idea.
we still got this. Whatever.
How long is it going to take to drop?
It's gonna take a while, dude.
Oh, man.
It's okay.
Dude,
We could do my phone.
You wanna do it on his phone?
And I'll just share.
And
Right,
then,
creative.
and then we can do we keep an eye on it and then just
Well, he'll be able to see it if it stops
and
recording or
then,
whatever.
and then just like switch
Just
it?
make sure it's 30 frames a second on 4K.
Okay.
Here,
You do your thing.
put that bad boy on there. We're gonna have to clap it again though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You got the clap.
Yeah.
Here, I can take it off.
Oh man, I turned the I turned the camera off.
Okay.
The hard part is I moved it around.
Aaron,
Oh,
Aaron,
man.
Oh, they're gonna know.
Aaron, you canceled
they're
it?
not gonna know.
You canceled the airdrop?
No, I didn't cancel it.
It says it was canceled.
Oh, dang it, let me try
'Cause your
again.
phone.
Did it
went
go
off.
because it went to sleep or what?
Yeah. Here. Do this.
Accept.
I still have the 10. How about that?
Dude, I had the 10 until like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a big game changer for you? Is it worth it?
it
Honest
was worth
opinion.
it for me because I got water damage on my phone.
Okay.
And
So necessity for you.
yeah, like I'll hold on to
Uh-oh.
a phone forever, dude. There's nothing better than like paying it off and getting that low bill again, right? And then
The fact that we're paying off phones, though, like
it's like
it's all the world.
yeah, we're paying off our $1,000 phone like $30 a month. Yeah.
Oh, we got to move it a little bit because now it's in this shot. How did
Yeah.
we have it before?
I should have just used my wife's phone.
Did
What was
I
thinking?
move this over? Did I move that or is that in the same spot?
I think it's in the same spot. I was thinking
Because
it
it's
was-
this is in that shot.
Okay. It's all good, y'all. Whatever. This is a free show, everybody.
Yay.
All right.
Dude, these headphones are making my head hot.
All right.
I feel
we're
much
recording
better.
again.
Are we recording again?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there was a technical difficulty. I told Aaron to delete all his photos. He didn't listen.
He now
So-
has no photos of his kids on
We
his phone. He did
Like,
it for
shame
the dad
on you
pod.
for having photos of your kids.
He ironically did it for
What
the
is
dad
wrong
pod.
with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
so,
this is way more important. Hold
Sorry,
on.
Chelsea.
Anyway, so you went to the Rockets game, right?
Yeah, the Rockets game.
Yeah, we're talking about John Wall.
We're talking about
how
John-
he was
so-
pooping on.
Dude, so
Houston.
it's my cousin and my uncle visiting from Mexico, and I was like, oh yeah, they really wanted to go to a Rockets game, so I was like, okay. I'm looking on like StubHub, and these tickets are like
$3.
$8,
Oh man,
like
that's
15
awesome.
with fees, and we're like
Gosh.
pretty much courtside.
Really?
Like, we're on dude, I've never been to a lower level in the 100 at a
Dude, I gotta
Rockets
go
game.
to Rockets game this
No,
year, I
and then
guess.
my friend
John
was
Wall
telling
play.
me the hack.
Exactly.
The hack is that buffet, right? In the club level, they let anybody with a ticket in,
Oh really?
He really would. Wait.
and it's a $20 buffet, and you get seated like near the balcony where you can watch the game. And I was trying to tell them to go, but they didn't want to go because they just spent $40 on popcorn, and you know they were.
Wait. So you can
tell us the hack.
just.
I need to
yeah,
know
yeah.
this.
Tell us
Yeah.
this. I want to.
So
know.
so in the club level or whatever, there's a buffet that not a lot of people know about because people think that you have to be a club like member or whatever, but anybody with a ticket can get in there.
You talking about the box seats or like down?
Dude, I wasn't there. I didn't get to go.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but that's what my friend said. So if you're go to
You
a
just have
Rockets
to have a
game,
club level seat or what?
no, you could just
Any
have
seat.
any
You
seat.
could just pay an entry for
Pay
club.
an entry,
okay.
the $3
Rockets
entry,
are struggling.
and then go pay $20 for a buffet.
Tillman Fertitta's like,
Dude,
man,
they got-
we need to
like-
sell more $20.
Dude, I saw
entries.
pictures of this place. They got like charcuterie boards and all this kind of stuff.
that's dope. I'd do that.
Oh man, I'd do that.
That's
in
worth
a
it.
heartbeat.
$20.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
popcorn,
I bet
the
it's
popcorn's
like-
like $15.
Yeah. I bet. No. It's like right behind the. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Well,
Wow.
yeah,
But,
man.
yeah.
The
Well, that's
Rockets,
awesome.
dude.
So
then-
you got to like see players up front and
yeah, dude. Boban riding the bench.
He's huge, though, dude.
He's massive, dude.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
getting
send
that
a prayer
State
for
Farm
the
money, though.
Rockets.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that he was in John Wick chapter 3, and he got murked in the library at the beginning. Remember?
I didn't see it.
My guy gonna get a paycheck, you know?
Dude, can you believe that Keanu Reeves can kill that guy? I don't think anybody can kill him. He's huge. Like Yao Ming couldn't kill him.
Yeah, they just step on it. They
Oh
just
my
step on him or
gosh.
something, right?
Yeah, but that's just how cool John Wick is, dude.
It is. Yeah. There's no one he cannot
Oh,
kill.
dude, John Wick.
So you were saying something about because you went to downtown. That's why you're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
Yeah.
Downtown. Downtown's cool.
Gosh, I love downtown.
The Cidercade's cool. Yeah.
So
it's all right.
Cidercade's in Edo or Easton if you're OG Houstonian.
Yeah.
But yeah, like proper downtown. Yeah, that's great. But they're also like trying to approve this huge development where they're gonna create like a city center or like a park that connects downtown to Easton or Edo.
Oh, cool.
That way, after Toyota Center or Minute Maid,
They already got Discovery Green.
correct. So they're gonna just extend Discovery Green.
Crazy.
They're not gonna mess with George R. Brown or anything like that. But like they want to extend it and they put 59 underground, and then people can just walk over to Edo because there's all those bars. And
Are you a Houstonian that knows all the underground tunnels downtown?
Yeah.
I don't know any of them. I don't even know how to get in there.
I remember
I
when
mean, I think they're.
There's a Jimmy John's in there somewhere. I
Oh
gotta
my
go.
gosh! Well, so it's nice. It feels like it's not. So if you're watching this and you don't live in Houston, basically there's a whole underground system in downtown.
Yeah.
And they do this because it's so damn hot in the summer.
Oh yeah.
So oil and gas get to put on, they don't need to like take off their coats in the summer.
Yeah.
And then they just can walk from one building to the next. And it feels like an airport terminal. It's less like a subway system and it's more like an airport terminal that you're walking from like terminal A to terminal B. And that's what it feels like. And of course it's all air conditioned, but there's like haircuts, there's nail salons. So it's pretty much packed from like 11 to like 3. And then every other time it's empty because rush hour is actually lunch hour. And then I think by 8 p.m. they shut it down.
Yeah,
there's no
I remember
reason.
when I was in the 5th grade, we went on a field trip to downtown Houston,
No way. I love this.
and there was we did like a scavenger hunt type deal, and we went in the tunnels, and that was the first time I ever knew there was a tunnel system.
That's awesome.
And
Guys,
I think not
Hold
that
on 1 second. I'm so sorry. I forgot to do this. It's gonna be a nightmare.
For you, yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, not that long after that was hurricane, or it wasn't even a hurricane.
yeah, it was
Tropical
probably
storm
Hurricane Katrina.
Allison.
Oh,
You guys
Alice, that
remember
was
that?
tropical storm. Yeah.
And it like flooded downtown bad.
Yeah.
And I think the tunnels got kind of messed up, but
Sure.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how many times that's happened since, or if it, I'm sure that. Like,
Well, yeah, now they have it all protected off and like walled off and stuff like
okay.
that. So you can only have access through buildings. So like the actual building would need to be flooded.
oh, okay.
But a lot of them already have like so much protection on that.
So they
That was
probably
pretty
did that
rough.
after what was that?
Allison, yeah. Allison was the worst. We had 4 feet in like, I think all this whole area had like 4 feet or more.
In Allison?
Correct.
This was like 2001 Allison?
Yeah. It was a long
because of the
time
bayou
ago.
right here.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
Allison was wild because I remember I was like, I was probably in middle school when it happened, and we went to, it was during the summer,
Yeah, it was.
and we went to Missouri like to visit some family, and I remember watching the news, and they were like in Missouri, and they're like, oh yeah, or Tropical Storm Allison's hitting Houston, but it's not that big of a deal. It'll be fine. This is like the
Psych.
day before we're coming home.
Psych.
So we drive back. We drive back in one day, usually when we go there. So we drove back in one day. We get into Houston, and like we're trying to get home. We lived in Clear Lake at the time, which is like on the south end of town. And we get like midway through Houston, and there's like the highway's just shut down, and there's like cops being like, "Oh no, you can't go this way."
It's crazy.
And we had to figure out like what roads weren't flooded so we could even get through Houston. It was wild.
Yeah.
Nuts, dude.
That's what happened to me with Katrina. Not with Katrina, with Harvey. I was
Harvey?
actually in Dallas for
Oh,
like
you
a
were
whole
in
work
Dallas?
thing. Yeah, and then I had to drive back, and it was like a whole thing. But that was wild driving in, and it felt like, because I was watching everything from the TV, and I'm like, my gosh, that's like my city. It's crazy.
Dude, when that happened, my wife was at work. She's a nurse. She's working in the ER. And me and her sister and some other friends were watching the McGregor-Mayweather fight.
That throws
It was that night. It was
I
that
think I
night.
realized. No, you know what? I remember that. Yes, you're right.
Wow.
We were watching the
remember that.
pay-per-view at our friend's apartment.
Correct. Yeah.
And it was raining cats and dogs, nasty. And I was like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what? Beck, you should probably get home. She was
Yeah.
like, I think I'm going to stay at the hospital. I was like, no, get over here.
Good call.
And
Good call.
she made it. And it was raining heavily, but then it kept raining
Yeah.
like all night. And then the
Because
next
no one
day.
thought it would sit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it would just blow by. That's
So then
crazy.
all her coworkers that stayed in the hospital had to stay there for like 2 weeks. And she got to leave.
Dang, good call.
So I was like, dude, yeah.
Said dad stink.
The dad
We're
stink.
labeling a term dad stink.
This is boyfriend stink.
boyfriend
Boyfriend
stink.
stink.
That means a whole different thing. Boyfriend stink.
Yeah.
That's dope. Okay.
Yeah, so, but then honestly, like during that whole flood thing, that's when we had like our biggest fights.
Sure. I'm sure.
'Cause
I mean, you're
she-
locked up.
she
It's
kept-
like pandemic.
She kept
vibes.
wanting to go out and explore. And I was like, no.
Were you
are-
guys staying what
people's-
area of town?
We were in
that
gosh, what is
apartment
it?
over there off of Beltway 8, right?
Off of Briar Forest in the Beltway
that
in
was
West
bad.
Chase.
That was bad.
That was the worst.
was bad,
The Beltway was underwater, dude.
Yeah, it's like
That was
a river.
bad.
and then
was
the
bad.
and then the bayou got flooded
Y'all,
because they were doing.
If you're not in Houston, that was the west side of Houston got destroyed.
It was the worst. And then of course the energy corridor underwater.
destroyed.
Every people
And the
were
whole
fishing.
Addicts Bayou decision of them
Yeah.
just, and then everyone just like,
Yeah.
okay.
We were at her
Yeah, it
townhome
was-
over there
it was
at
bad.
Camden
So
Holly
many
Springs.
$1 million houses just boom.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I was at that time. That was my first. I was only like a few months married at that point, and we lived in Kingwood, in this apartment in Kingwood.
Oh wow.
But it was
I
like at
remember
the
that.
front of Kingwood, and I remember the first day that it happened. We went like, my wife's dad lives in Kingwood, but in like the back of Kingwood, and we went to his house like the first day that it was happening. Because I was working for him at the time, and he had like office at his house that I was working at. And then we drove back to our apartment, and we just stayed there the rest of the time. But like the back of Kingwood, his didn't get flooded, but just like
Yeah,
a
there's
little
these
bit,
pockets, yeah.
a little bit further down, it was like, I mean, there's like a HEB in the back of Kingwood. It was like 20 feet of water. Like it was a brand new
That was some of the
HEB.
worst areas that got hit.
Yeah,
because of addicts.
No, that one was because it was like it's the San Jacinto River flows between Lake Houston and Lake Conroe, and Lake Conroe was flooding. So they were like, "We're gonna open up our dams," and it opened up all this water and sent it to Lake Houston, and it just like.
The trickle down effect.
On top of that, it rained for people that aren't from Houston may not get this, but it rained for literally 3 days straight. It was like Noah's Ark or something.
It was bad.
It was like what they calculated it was the entire bit of rain that Seattle gets in 1 year happened in like 3 days, like you said.
And it wasn't like just a little trickle. It was like torrential downpour for 3 days.
Dude, freeways were underwater.
God was angry.
Freeways
That's
were
something
underwater.
we did. He was angry at John Wall. Is what
Dude,
it was.
JJ Watt raised a bunch of money.
Yeah.
He did. JJ's a legend.
Oh, yeah.
And he still comes back. I think his house is still in Memorial.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gosh. Love JJ.
During
Hometown
it's so funny when you were talking about Allison. I was in middle school and I was in Japan when Allison hit. And we were gonna fly back to Houston that day, but then Allison was a storm in Houston, and the airports are shut down.
Yeah, that's right.
So we had to stay an extra night in Tokyo.
He just turned this into like a flex. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. No, but I mean, I didn't get to experience Allison.
Sure, but like you got to experience the.
I got to experience the worst one.
Yeah, you got to experience the worst
It almost broke us
dang.
up.
Hey, we made it here. We
Yeah.
got kiddos, you know.
Dude, I think the ice one, the freeze,
Oh, man.
that was the worst one. That was the worst one by far.
Because we can handle hurricanes.
We can
That's
handle
fine.
hurricanes.
It doesn't matter how much it rains. That's fine. We can handle anything frozen.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Oh yeah, like the Beltway was a tundra. I was driving on it, and it was
drove on it during that?
Dude, I totally had to drive on it because my mom had water bottles from Costco, and I was like, I don't have any, Mom. She's like, well, you can come over
by
here.
the way, I think this video should be sponsored by Costco.
Costco.
Oh yeah, Costco.
There you go. Sponsored
Costco
by
waters,
Costco.
man. Oh yeah.
Shout out to Costco.
But you know, you think about it, we were renting an apartment, so if the apartment floods, it's not my problem. When the freeze busts my pipes, and
It's not only do Houstonians freak out, but Houston homes freak out.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do.
my daughter's room, which used to be like a spare bedroom, completely just ruined. Like the ceiling caved in.
Really?
Stuff it was like $40,000 worth of damage.
No.
It was crazy, dude.
Y'all have insurance?
Yeah, we had insurance.
Come
It
on,
came
that's
through.
a grown up flex.
It came
Let's go.
it came through nasty. It was
You got
pretty
that
cool.
remodel out of it.
We got a little baby remodel. We took out a wall. Yeah,
there
it's
you go.
downstairs. It used to be like pillars.
Okay.
Completely open
go
now.
through a little rough times, but you get blessed.
Yeah, we upgraded the oven and stuff. I got a Traeger grill out of it. It was nice.
Hey, we're not gonna publicize. We'll edit that one.
Yeah, no.
In case an insurance claims
It
comes
was
after you.
It was devastating. It was devastating.
Good for you.
This
Well
is before the
deserved.
kid. This is before the kid.
Oh really? Good
So-
Hey, that's good timing, man.
Yeah.
timing.
It was good time.
You got a Traeger out of
I got a Traeger out of it. I legit did. I even had
dead.
I installed a electrical line outside for the Traeger.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
man.
It's crazy.
Electrician over here.
Man.
I didn't do it.
That's some
Oh,
bad
you
luck.
had someone you hired someone.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
outsource
don't know
that.
nothing
There you
about
go.
that.
That's hilarious.
The funny thing is, I was sitting downstairs in our living room. Our house is completely destroyed. Right. This is before all the insurance stuff comes through. Right, and all that. And Rebecca comes home, and she gives me a Starbucks. Right. Like this, I order the same thing all the time. Like for years. Right.
Frappuccino.
No, it's an Americano.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
Americano. So
Yeah,
she
always get
hands-
Americano.
yeah.
Don't get drip.
Yeah. Don't get tripped.
Don't get drip because it sits there. An Americano is a fresh pour.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
espresso.
Freshly hot.
Yeah. So she hands me my drink, and I was like, "Where's my straw?" I was being a jerk. I was like, "Where's my straw?" She's like, you're supposed to drink it." I was like, "Why?" I was like, "Just drink it." So I drink it, and it tastes horrible. It tastes like salt water, and I look at it, and it says like, "To baby daddy," and that's how she told me that we were pregnant, dude. She put baby daddy on my Starbucks drink, and then she filmed it. And of course, I'm like saying all these bad words and stuff. She can't
you can't
she
share that
can't
with
send it to. She can't post it on Facebook or whatever. But But it was so funny. It was
That's
like,
so
oh
genuine
man.
too. I love it.
Because I like, I'm literally looking at the ceiling that's like,
There's a hole in it.
there's holes in it, right? And it's like all wet. I'm like, this couch was the only couch that remains from our old living room set.
Really?
Like the one downstairs now, it's completely new.
Which, by the way, it's like a whole. I don't even know how to explain your couch downstairs. It's like a
like a
California
horseshoe,
king
yeah.
size bed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's huge, yeah.
It's huge, and then it can like you could literally sleep 15 people on it.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's
crazy.
good for like movie nights and stuff.
It is. It is. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah,
So
we should watch the Super Bowl.
where you go, baby daddy? Yeah, Super Bowl this Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
if
dude.
you're watching this,
But
it's on
no,
Sunday.
and my wife loves this little love seat because this is our last living room that we got in when we had a crappy little tiny apartment when we first got married in like a
Oh, yeah.
600 square footer, and we bought that and it was like ours, you know, and then
Look
like
how
it got
far y'all
ruined,
come.
dude, except for the love seat because it was like off to the side, so we kept it. I was sitting right there when I
that.
found out.
Now it's
yeah.
gonna be an heirloom, family heirloom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Passed down from generation.
It's in the
to
man
generation.
cave. Until this becomes like a bedroom for another kid or something. I don't know.
R.I.P.
If we-
that
if
pod
we- if-
studio.
yeah. I'm gonna have to move it to the garage or something.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Put a window AC unit in there.
Right.
So.
Hey, if we do, we guys smoke cigars if we're moving. to
Oh,
the
yeah.
garage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
Wish we could do cigars now, but
get the stove. I always keep 2 on me. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's probably do one after this.
let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down.
I read a Winston Churchill biography, and he said, "Always carry 2 cigars on you, one for you, one for a friend." And I've always done it ever since.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
I went and bought a case, and then I bought like a stick lighter, so I can hold 2 cigars and then the torch lighter in it,
Right
and then
on.
just walk around.
Right on.
But
Awesome.
I just realized I spend a lot of money on cigars.
Really?
I
Do you
spend
do you do 2 fresh ones every day?
I smoke a cigar a day.
Wow. Okay.
So I did one. I try to time it at like sunset, just cause like so we're right now. I'm like not too far from you, and I'm like facing the bayou. They did a bunch of like great
backyard.
work, yeah. And it's just like all open air. You get the sunset right there. It's awesome.
Yeah. It
So I
is.
like to time that sunset and then just smoke a stove just to kind of. And by that point, I'm coming back from the gym, so it's like I already feel like I put in a ton of work for the day.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna do a second leg later of just like getting in because I like to like do work when I'm most focused, which is the evenings. But I like to have just a pause in the middle of the day. But yeah, I'll at least have a stoke a day. But last month I think I spent like close to $150 on cigars. It's bad.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
bad. But I'm also like
It's not
no one.
super bad.
But like people are, yeah. I'm not like Michael Jordan smokes like 5 or 6 a day.
Wow.
That's
Like
crazy.
that's bad. Like that's bad.
I knew that you like cigars, but that's a lot.
Oh
Wow.
yeah,
Cigars
he's
are cool,
he's like
but-
he's like famous for cigars. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like cigars because you don't inhale,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't affect like lung capacity or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then you're also sitting down with a buddy for like an hour,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
45 minutes, and you're just engaging in a
Oh, yeah.
solid combo.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good food.
Well, I think for me, like, podcasting has become a cigar.
I
little
I can
bit.
see that.
Oh,
A
yeah.
little bit, like, you know, it's whatever,
Sit down
man.
for like 45 minutes. And
Yeah.
like here you go.
It's pretty cool, man.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
like I've been telling my wife, you should get on this. She's like, no.
She would be a great guest.
We do
Where's
the
she?
mom pod.
Oh, yeah.
We could have our wives on here to give us a night off.
I think that's next episode.
Yeah,
A little
mom
mom
pod.
I mean, at least like a Mother's Day special, you know.
Mother's Day.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a dad pod barbecue at some point.
That's
Yeah.
great.
We'll do a dad pod barbecue. We'll have you come over.
Come on.
I'll show you my Traeger.
Thank you,
lit,
God,
dude.
for
Dude, I mean, he can make a pretty good brisket on the
Oh, dude, the Traeger can make it.
Oh my gosh,
It's
I
fun.
love it.
It's
I
fun.
love it. Yeah, Mother's Day feature that would be
Oh.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Good
For
shout
sure.
shout out to the moms.
All right, man.
They might team up on you. You know, you got to watch out for that. You got to keep
Oh,
the
dude,
agenda
yeah.
tight.
Yeah, she's playfully mean.
I think you're to blame for that, though. You know,
Yeah.
like
So I love
you created you released the Kraken.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's great. She's great for me. Yeah, man. Well, dude, this has been great. I think we're We're hitting about hour 15. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
But
Time flies.
Something like that.
thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, it was awesome.
Thanks for having me round 2.
for sure, dude.
Oh yeah.
Well, next time, don't wait 7 years to ask me back on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
consistency, Aaron.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
consistency.
trying to keep this one going. I mean, what is this, episode 4?
This is episode 4. We're rolling. There's
So-
been a couple episodes we didn't air, to be honest.
Yeah, we recorded a few that never made
Just
the
a
light
couple
of day.
stinkers,
Okay,
you know.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. There were no stinkers. I think it was just we had technical issues
Sure,
and
yeah,
whatnot.
sure.
We couldn't film whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's been cool.
Cheers.
All right, man.
It's an honor. Great times.
Cool,
sure.
yeah.
Makes me look forward to being a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Cool.
go. Subscribe on Dadbot if you haven't already.
Oh, yeah.
Below.
Like,
And check out
subscribe.
Confidant Co.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check out Confidant Co, man. If
Yeah.
you want affordable digital marketing, if you're a personal brand, small business, or nonprofit, we got you.